Bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa ala amma ba'du. So today in this video, I want to give you a little bit theory about EIGRP or Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol, as I've made a lot of videos about practical and network engineering, but here we are going to explain a little bit about CCNP, like trying to deep dive into the material upon the CCNA the previous we've learned. So anyways, in the CCNP we have a lot of things to learn, but the first thing is about EIGRP. So let me explain you first. My name is Azmi Fawzan Akbar. I'm from 11 Network Engineering, and here in the first semester of 11th grade we are going to learn about CCNP, or Cisco Certified Network Professional. And there is a lot of material that we would learn, and one of the material that we have done is about EIGRP, since the first one we've been here. So exactly what is an EIGRP if you don't know? If you have learned about CCNA, then you are going to be familiar with EIGRP, because in Cisco we have a routing dynamic called EIGRP, or a proprietary of Cisco. So routing has two types, right? Manual routing or static route, and yes, dynamic routing. One of the types of dynamic routing was EIGRP, and here are some of the examples um, of routing dynamic routing. So dynamic routing has two types, that is EIGRP and IGP and EGP. So interior gateway protocol, which you can see here, and exterior gateway protocol. So what was the difference exactly? Interior gateway protocol, in short terms, is used for interior connections. Exterior gateway protocol is used to connect between EGPs. Alright, you get it? So there is only one EGP out there called BGP, which is using path factor, and EIGRP is on hybrid or advanced distance factor, is using between distance factor and link state. If you want further explanations, then you better search in Google, because that's an CCNA terrorism. And here I'm going to explain you about CCNP and talking about EIGRP. I'm sorry about that. Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. So in detail, you don't have to read the. I'll explain you in English. So in detail, EIGRP, EIGRP are inside of the IGP, or Interior Gateway Protocol, and in detail, the algorithm that EIGRP use is dual, or if you want to search more, dual means calculating between two main factors. First one, bandwidth, the second one, delay. Is using between distance factor and link state function. One of the access of EIGRP is the configuration is fast, using a hybrid protocol, using both link state and distance factor. It supports VLSM and CIDR. Load balancing, support IPv4 and IPv6, do free summarization, flexible and reliable metric calculations. And we're going to see the weakness. So if you want to use a dynamic routing, then you gotta understand about when will you use it, for what did you use it, and what's the access and the weakness. One of the weakness of EIGRP was semi-proprietary. So semi-proprietary, as I explained, EIGRP was made from Cisco and only can be used in Cisco for the time being. But now is using semi-proprietary with the standardizations of EIEE. Alright, it has a standardizations of it, so not all router can use EIGRP. Alright, the second one is complex. The complexity of using EIGRP was a high challenge, because it is not going to be easy to use it. and is not efficient for big topology. One of the reasons is because EIGRP is using one autonomous number. If it is not one autonomous number, then it will not connect or agency between one network to another network, right? And it has a research intensive. So this is because EGRP are advanced and is using two main functions at the same time, link set and distance vector. So that's why it uses an intensive resource, means the CPU are going to load way more bigger than all the dynamic routing dependency with Cisco. So it depends on Cisco, right? So as you can see here, we are going to explain you a little bit about the basics of EIGRP, which is the packet. So how does an EIGRP connections in a network connect between one and each other? As you know, a router must send an hello packet to make sure that the other router is using the same EIGRP and in the same autonomous system. It uses update packet to make sure that all it uses update packet once the router makes sure that the neighbor was using the same EIGRP number, and now is going to send the update packet, right? After that, the query packet is inside of the query packet with uh, the network or the IP address that the router has and wants to advertise to the neighbor. The reply packet is when the other router receives it and it will reply with another routing informations. Acknowledgement packet or when the router has achieved the routing or the information of the IP address of the neighbor. And now the summary was optional if you want to make the HRP use not auto summary or not using VLSM, is going to use CIDR. So here is some of the example of when an HRP is going to be succeed. So the router from here send an hello packet to another router on the neighbor. If he seems like this guy is using the same HRP number, then he'll reply to the router. And after that, he will receive, oh, this guy is using the same HRP. Then he will send an update packet to the neighbor or the informations about the IP address that he has. And once he receives it, he will use acknowledgement update. So once it receives, it will send the update packet as well to the routers. Then both routers will send acknowledgement or when they have received the informations of the packet. Topology table is one of the use of HRP, where you can see the topology of the HRP. Routing table is when you want to visit or you want to see the IP addresses that router has. And ensure is making sure that all of the IPs are advertised. One of the failed update packet was like this. So an example, router B has down, right? Router B is down. Then router A wants to communicate with router B, it has no answer. So it has a agency break for a few 15 seconds times 3. And once it is not, then he'll send a query packet. When no reply packet, then it's become unreachable. So when the reply packet is unreachable, then he will use update topology or routing table. So how does it works? Example, if it has 3 routers, then if you want to connect to the routers here, then you're gonna use the other line. And maybe it's all. One of the most interesting of HRP is it has a lower cost than the other dynamic routing. So maybe if you're interested in using HRP, then you're gonna go try it on Cisco Packet Tracer. So maybe that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.